Creatives. Today I want to show you a wreath that I did back in 2019, but I have not made in the public group ever. So I wanted to walk you through the steps in how to create a bookworm wreath or door hanger or classroom decor or teacher appreciation gift. However you want to clarify it, I'm going to walk you through how simple this is. And this would make a great gift as we are nearing the end of another school year. So this would be a great gift idea for a daycare worker or provider, a librarian, a teacher. So this is going to definitely be something that you want to pay attention to. So before we get started, to save this tutorial, Facebook users, just share the button or just click the share button down below. It'll share this tutorial on your Facebook page where you have access to it as many times as you want to watch it. If you are a YouTube subscriber, just click the save button when you're watching this tutorial and you can save it in however you have your system set up. Now, to make sure you receive live notifications when I'm on, you want to make sure you're doing two things on Facebook. One is following my page and the second is liking my page. Follow is easy to find. I've actually got to go look and see if they've changed it. But either like or follow is active. The other's hidden. So right next to either the like or the follow, 3 dots, click those 3 dots. It'll open up another little sub menu. You either have the option to turn notifications on or to like the page. You have to be doing both in order to turn on Facebook notifications when anyone you follow does a Facebook Live. YouTube subscribers, so much easier. Just click the subscribe or the subscribe button, the subscribe channel, however that appears on your mobile browser or your desktop or laptop or tablet. And then you'll have a notification whenever we create another live. So I'm going to go ahead and post the link at the bottom. Oop, I just clicked something else. Let's go ahead and get in here. If you're a first-time follower or first-time joining us today, welcome. I'd like to welcome you to our Facebook Live. Hi, Joanne. Hi, Elizabeth. Hi, Deanne. She says, I really like the wreath on the white door. So that's the one we did yesterday in the private group. That's our burlap wreath with interchangeable bows. So Elizabeth, you can definitely join that. It's actually the same door. It's just one side's painted black, the other side's painted white, which is ideal when you need props because you just make them multi-purpose instead of just painting one side to the door. And then of course, if you have a different color on your front door, then you actually have 3 different options. Like I think we have green for our front door and then white and black for the prop door. So I am pinning my website to the bottom for a couple reasons. Number one, if you want to, did I just delete that? Man. If you want to purchase this wreath, it is available on my website right now. If you want some free tutorials, those are also available on my website. If you would like to join the private group, okay, here we go. Yes, I did delete the first time. If you'd like to join the private group, we have a design academy now and a business academy, or you can join both. So you'll find all the information out about those by going to the website. So I'm going to go ahead and pan you down. We're going to go ahead and get started. So hang with me. I always try to make sure I don't bump the microphone. So what we're going to be using today is the candy cane wreath form from the Dollar Tree. So if you don't have one of those, they will be coming out here shortly. Looks like it did pin twice. That's weird. Hi, Cheryl. Welcome. So you will need the large one. So how do you know you have the large one or the small one? I think the small one only has 5 sections, The larger one actually has 7, so that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes. You will need a roll of 21 inch, and I'm doing the premium foil. So what do I mean by premium? This means that you have a wide foil every other row filled with premium wide foil Deco mesh. And that way it's going to create a really solid, thick base so that we cannot see the frame below. So if you use a cheaper quality mesh where it's a lot more thin, for example, Hobby Lobby, Joann, sometimes Michaels, even on some of the bigger name resupply companies, if you buy the lower priced mesh, you buy the thin metallic mesh, and that might create some visibility problems where you're trying to hide the base, but this does not do a sufficient job. In a case like that, you might have to double it, and then it just becomes, it's hard to do the method if you have to double the mesh. I have been asked, could you do this with 10-inch Deco mesh? You might be able to, but you won't get the coverage that goes all the way down the sides, which is what you need to do to conceal the frame. So if you're using 10-inch mesh, you're only going to get roughly 4 inches on each side, but when you're poofing it, you actually have it scrunched in little balls, so it may not go quite far enough. So this is what you'll see when we're doing that. You will also need whatever color ribbons you like. I prefer the dark with the polka dots, so we're using a red, we're using yellow, we're doing purple, and I even have the remnants of orange. These are the 4.5-inch ribbon we're going to be cutting to make the bows. In addition to that, you will need the googly eyes, and you can get these at Hobby Lobby, Joann's, Michael's, Walmart, wherever. That is going to be something that you want, and you can pick and choose what size eyeballs you want to use for your bookworm. It's entirely up to you. You can use the big ones, you can use the small ones. It's going to be user preference. I just saw Darlene asked, where did I get my mesh at? This was actually, believe it or not, from Hobby Lobby. At Christmas time, you can get it in what's called the high foil premium mesh. It's generally a little bit on Hobby Lobby's higher price side, but because it offers such great coverage, that is going to be key for you. Okay, then you will need 1 red pipe cleaner. That is going to be used to make his mouth. You will need 20, let me think about this, 14, and then another 2, that's 16. You will need 32 black pipe cleaners. So using these at 12 inches are not going to be enough to create the bookworm's legs, because his legs need to kind of hang out the side. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your pipe cleaners, you're going to do a little crisscross method here, probably about an inch, 1.5 inches. And then you're going to just simply wire them together, because these are what we're going to be using to attach our Deco mesh to the frame. Okay. Bookworm's legs. Okay. And then you'll need another 2 to make his glasses, and we'll do that when we get to actually putting his face together. But right now we're going to go ahead and create his body. So we are going to do first things first, which is we're going to start at his head, and then we'll finish at his tail. So whenever you're doing the 21-inch mesh, you're going to want to gather the ends at the top. Just make sure you just kind of feed it into your hand like this. Okay? And then we're going to turn this frame over, because his face is going to be here. The end of the bookworm is going to be here. So taking all of our Deco mesh, flipping this over, I'm going to attach it right here to the crossbar. And we're only using the inside two when we're doing this. So it's kind of like a modified poof bubble method. So this is more of an advanced technique. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pick one of the two. I'm going to place my Deco mesh down here in the back. I'm going to go ahead and zip tie that on pretty tight. Go ahead and snip that off. So you notice that we're on the back side of the mesh. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and unspool. Let me flip this way so I can work this a little bit better. We are going to take this Deco mesh, okay, I'm going to flip this over, and then remember, we're doing the first two sections, so we're going to put two in this section. So we're creating the head first, okay, and it just is going to depend on where you start your mesh. But if I was to measure this from the end to where I have this in my hand, it's about 8 inches, okay? So I'm going to kind of push this up front. This is going to be his face. This is my bookworm's face. So I kind of like this portion to be a little on the wide side so that we have a place to put his eyes and put his mouth. So this is where we are now going to take one of our really large pipe cleaners we made. You're going to put this in between the two middle ones so that where we have joined them together lines up. And I'm just going to push this up into that section. I'm going to make sure that these are pretty even so his legs are even. We're going to twist right here a couple times. And then these are just going to actually lay underneath. These are the beginning of his legs. So because I need to get another section in here, I'm going to push this forward, which gives him a really full face. We are going to measure out another 10 inches from where I have that gathered. So this is at 12. I'm right here at 22. I'm going to push this forward so that it'll stay in this section. Again, another one of our really long pipe cleaners going right through the middle. This is where I have it joined, so it's kind of being a little stubborn. Okay. Pinch this here. 2 sections. In that, and then there's his legs. Okay, so as you can see, what we have done is here on each side I'm going to reach in and I'm going to fluff those little sections out, just like right here. The reason why we did a loop over is so that we could create his little face. So now I'm going in. There we go. Trying to find the other end. It just kind of wrapped itself inside. And now we have a really big bookworm face. Ignore the legs. We're just going to kind of push those down. Okay. We're going to go another 10 inches from this. Shred it out. Push forward. Just so you guys can see what I'm doing here. I'm going to hold this in my hand. We have our next section. Try to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Okay, so in here, this is what I'm doing. I'm taking my pipe cleaner, putting it under the 2 center ones. Okay. Going to take where I've gathered this. It likes to cling to itself. I'm going to tuck this in right here with my giant pipe cleaner. think his legs are even, yeah. About 3 twists, and then I'm just going to push that forward. We can reach in. If you want, you could do this beforehand, you could do it after. Just kind of create his poof, okay? If you want, just take his legs and tuck them down. You can move them forward. So another 10 inches. Move this up. I'm going to take my pipe cleaner. In this section, we're going to go right underneath, right up the middle. Kind of flip that around the other side. And then I'm going to gather my poof yet again. Okay, so first 2 sections done. Reach in, pull out your ends. The reason why we need the ends full, so this is the reason why I don't think that 10 inch will work, is number one, you're not going to have the height. It's going to be a very thin worm. 21 inch mesh, as you can see, is going completely around, and it is covering our frame. I have not finished pulling all this out fully, but this all covers our frame all the way around. Okay, we're going in to this middle section now. So I'm going to start here. Normally I don't keep my mesh on my table because it drives me crazy, but here's 10 inches. I'm going to push it up. I'm going to go underneath here with his legs. Push my mesh down. You could even preload this if you'd like with your Deco or your pipe cleaners, so they're already in place. Fluffing this out, pushing it forward, and then we're going to get, I'll go ahead and preload this one. Let's just preload the rest. I think the reason why I didn't do it the last time is because the long legs actually get in the way. So I'll preload this one. So I'll just kind of twist that right there. I'm going to stretch this out. Oops, it's going a little too long. Hoofing it forward, lifting it up. I want to make sure that it's not doubling, which it kind of is. So what has a tendency of happening is when you take it like this and you stretch it out and leave it forward, you've kind of doubled your mesh. We want it to be to where we've got those edges on the outside. I'm going to push this all the way up because it needs to go up here in that rounded section. Okay, there is that. So these are all the legs from the previous section. So we're going to go ahead and put 2 in here. So I will put 1 here. I'm going to push that forward. I'm going to move these ones out. Measure out. I want to make sure I don't get any of the other legs in the way. His legs do become like, they're a little long, but we'll shorten those up momentarily. Okay, we'll go in again, pull and fluff everything out in that section for that little worm. Flipping this back over so you can see. Placing this right on the inside. Oop, we need to be up here. Push forward. 2 in each section. Grand total of 14. Bring it back. Push the pipe cleaners down. Going from here to here, we're pushing. Gathering right here. Okay. Fan this out again. Just like so. Pushing it back. Push this forward. And then we're going to put another 2 in here. There's 1. Pull it back. Measure out our 10. And you can do these if you want them in smaller sections where they're not quite as full. You could do 8-inch, you could do 9-inch, you could do whatever size poofs you want. So always unfold. So see how this is thick enough? It's actually covering. Flipping it back. Oop, got one of the short ones. So basically what we're using the pipe cleaners for is A, it's holding the mesh. B, it's going to become his legs. It's also going to use to hold our ribbons in the center. So we need them a little on the long side. So here we go. 10 inches. Push forward. Fan this out so we can see all that beautiful color. So we have a very plump bookworm. Okay, 2 more. If you're always unsure, flip it over and look. Like, did I do 2 in that section or only 1? So we've got these 2 and then our final 2. Bring it back. Kind of pulling my pipe cleaners so they're on either side. Measure, push. There's the other one. And then just fluff that up. Push it forward. Flip it back. We're going to put our other one in. Lay them flat. Measure your mesh. Push it forward. Fluff this one out. I'm doing the fluffing so that I don't have to go back and do that later. Okay. Now we're doing the last 2 in that final section. So here's 1. So I'm putting those sections so we have little it in. Okay. Fan this out. Okay. Gonna flip this back. We're gonna put the last one in. And if we do this right, you should have maybe enough to do another one. It just depends on the size of your poofs. go back to being flat. It's just clinging to itself. So I need it to be a smooth transition. Right here to the end. Fluff this one out. And then we have to finish his tail. So his tail is going to simply be, measure that out. About another 10 inches, right? We're going to flip it over to the other side. I'm going to get my other zip tie. Use this. So I know where my 10 is. I'm going to go right here to my cross member. And then I'm going to take this poof where I have it. Trying to get this. Gonna bend it up and over. Actually, let me try to get it. I'm just gonna give it a little bit of extra. So up and over. Tuck it in on the underside like we did the head. I'm just pulling through the excess. Okay, we'll snip this off. This will go to the side. I'm going to cut the remainder of this off so it's more reasonable on the underside, so we have a little tail. Okay, then this on the outside we're going to fluff so that he has the end of his tail. Let's get this all unfurled. So I know right now he doesn't look like much of a worm because he just looks like a bunch of green deco mesh. Technically this is his head, this is his butt, but now we're going to kind of put some of those features in. Let me show you. Elizabeth, so this was a design I did back in 2019 in the private group, but I never showed it to the public group. And I'm like, okay, it's been 5 years. I think I can teach it to the public group. So we're using 1.5 inch ribbon that is cut to 14-inch pieces. We're folding it in the half so that we know where middle is, right? We're going to gather. I'm going to start right here at his head. And in that first section of pipe cleaners, I'm going to secure my ribbon in. Just a couple twists. Then I'm going to take the legs and I'm just going to move them out of the way so I don't see them anymore for now. Okay, and then you're just going to fluff your ribbon. You're going to go ahead and take your next ribbon, do the same, fold it in half, gather at the center, take your next set of pipe cleaners, we're going to secure that ribbon in. Okay, we're going to fan that out. Again, if you want, just move his legs to the bottom. I'm going to keep taking their legs and kind of pulling them down, just so they're sitting on the bottom. I like to make the ones in the front kind of fan forward. These will kind of fan an opposite way. I guess we're folding them. They should fan backwards. And I'm fanning them forward. So let me get these ones in. And then honestly, it's all going to just be based on your desire of what you want it to look like. So I'm doing about 4 twists. Move my legs underneath. And we can fan them this way. It doesn't matter. We can just fan them backwards. We can fan backwards here. We're going to take our next one poof that one in. Place this right in the center. Move his legs down, just so they're out of the way. And we can just make those. He just has ribbons in each section, just nice like primary color. It's going to be up to you how you want those to lay. Now we're going back to our purple. Gather. I'm going to place this one right inside here. Longer. Let's get his legs down. I'm just kind of pulling those underneath the frame for now. Okay, adding our red. Right in the center. Move that. Oops, skipped it. Skipped one. This one goes in here. Okay, I'm going to take the ties. We're going to go under. There we go. And we still have his legs out in a wide variety of different places. We're doing yellow. Right in here. Take this. I'm going to go completely under, because his legs are actually going to go on the outside of the frame. But I just want them out of the way so they're not getting in the way of everything else we have going on. Okay. Trying to get these to go around his little cluster of legs and coils, I guess. Right in here. Taking these, bringing it down so that I can get the ribbons up and over the legs. Okay, we've got our purple. So you're going to need 14 ribbons, 14 pipe cleaners, a roll of 21-inch Deco mesh. You will need 30, I think it's 30? No, 14, 32 pipe cleaners. Trying to go through my Deco mesh pieces. The legs like to hang out on top of the ribbon. Here's our red. Let's get these under. Because the legs be on the, they're actually going to be out to the side. But those are kind of like almost one of the last things we do is add in his legs. Yellow. Under. So it just goes right under the under section, just so that I can get those out of the way. And I'm just fluffing them up. Here's my next set. Got 3 more left to do. Back under. Yeah, purple and then red. Okay, so here's our purple. Such long legs to work with. Pull his legs down, and then we have the end piece for his last little tail. This little tail section back here. Create the little loop. Okay, now we have his legs, right? We have all the legs that are fanning out. So let's take care of his legs, because then those will stay to the underside. So on the caterpillar's legs, what you're going to do is you're going to move them to the bottom of the stack. And before you do that, you're actually going to roll his legs, the tips under. And you're just going to create little feet that kind of look like this. So we're just kind of curling them up and giving our bookworm some legs. So those are all going to stick out on the side of our wreath. So roll the ends, kind of curl them up about 3 times, kind of bend them in like a little S shape so they kind of go down underneath, because that's where his little feet should be. Okay, down here, little bookworm legs. So those are fairly simple. So we're just curling them 3 times, lifting them up so he has like little, like almost like a little L shape. So curl, 1, 2, 3. Grab it about midway up and make like a little L shape so he has little legs. Okay, then his ribbon can actually follow him the rest of the way out. So let's focus on getting his feet rolled. 3. Lift it up. We're going to tuck that down because his feet need to be down on the bottom. So finding his feet, roll them up, 1, 2, 3, going up here, folding so that his feet rest on the bottom. So 1, 2, 3, bend up, then you can just take his ribbons and move them outside. See, now they'll follow his little legs all the way out. So you just want to make sure that when you're bending it, it'll be to where his legs are going to be kind of folding off to the side. Because we want to make sure he's got legs to stand on. And then our ribbon just kind of follows his little legs. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Bend it up. Go to the outside. Remember, we tucked all these under. So 1, 2, 3. Bend it up. Make sure his legs, building him flat on the cutting mat is ideal because you can get his feet to all stay squared to the bottom, all the way down. So 1, 2, 3. Bend up, make those hit. You can fan that out. Gotta grab. Here it is. They got tucked under so far, they stayed way under. 1, 2, 3. Bend this up. And then get his ribbon to follow all the way through. Okay, we're up here. 1, 2, 3. Grab him by the top. Make sure his feet hit the bottom. You can fan his ribbon to follow that leg down. There's this one. 1, 2, 3. So I'm taking this and putting this on the floor like it would be a foot. And then I'm bending it so that his legs follow through all the way down. Just like so. Now I'm to my red. 1, 2, 3. Lift him up. I'm going to grab these ones right here on the corner. So he's got posable legs, technically. Okay. Grab this one. That one's actually, that one's up. So I'm just doing the outside ones right here. They're so much fun to make. I was a huge bookworm in school, so I can relate to this design a lot. Okay. Pulling this one out so you can kind of see what I'm doing. Just folding, making sure his foot hits the ground. Then I can just follow my ribbon all the way through. We're going to grab those ones on the inside, which are a little hard for you guys to see, which is why I did the outside ones for you. But you can still kind of see here. Grab this one. That was our yellow one. Where's my red one? Ugh. Let's grab these ones over here. We have quite a few. So I'm going to start with my yellow. And we're going to do our red. Once these get curled up, then the long hanging pipe cleaners suddenly disappears. And now you have caterpillar legs instead of long hanging black pipe cleaners. Now I'm taking these and moving these down so they follow his legs. Down, down. Here's this one. Curl, curl, curl. Making sure his little foot's on the ground. Just like I love all his little feet. Let's get this one to come around. There we go. My Deco mesh was holding on to my ribbon. It didn't want to play nice with the other ones. And we have finished all of our worm, all of his bows, all the way down. Just continue to adjust your ribbon wherever you want those to lay. I try to put a little bit of an elevation to them so that they kind of come up over and then they just kind of fall to the side. Just like that. So I'm trying to get this one up so it will actually follow right down in there. Same thing with our purple. Bring it up. Try to get it up. Once we got it curling, we can make it follow his little leg all the way down. Just like so. Okay. So now that we've got everything going the way it should, we need to create our little bookworm face. So I am fluffing out his face. I need to get my leg under my ribbon. There we go. There we go. Okay, so here is our bookworm's face. Let's go ahead and give him some eyes. And that's all going to be just contingent on you. So here's his face. Here's what we've done so far. He's got these little legs that just kind of come out the side. You see the outside ones a little better than you see the inside ones, because the inside ones are kind of just jumbled up with the rest of our mesh. There's our other leg. Okay, there we go. So, eyes. I'm not going to go with really big eyes, but I am going to go, let's see. These feel like they might, let's see. I think those are kind of cute for him. Let's make sure they're both the same size. They are. I think I only have two sizes. Probably a large and a small. So let's do the large ones. Have the hot glue gun on for that purpose. Before we do that though, we need to create his eyeglasses. So let me stick these all back in. I think the small ones would be way too small. See, these are where the small would be. I think it's way too small. He feels like he's a bigger bookworm to me. So, knowing his eyes, just making sure that one rolled. That looks weird. We're going to take 2 pieces of black pipe cleaner. You're going to crisscross them in the middle. Okay? Just like when we did when we were adding his legs. Just wrap them all around. This center section where they are wrapped is the bridge of his glasses. Okay? So technically that is his bridge. And that what you want to do is 3 fingers lengths. I want you to wrap it around your 3 fingers. Then I want you to remove that. Tuck your pipe cleaner in. And then this is going to be his glasses. Just like so. And you can make them squared if you want. It's whatever you'd like. Maybe he wants to be like kind of smarty frames. So I'm going to try to put this in a little square shape. Kind of like that. Kind of like he has little square glasses. This is a frame that would go behind our bookworm's ears. So like that. From here, 3 fingers are going to go around. Okay. Remove your fingers. Tuck your pipe cleaner in. And that is going to be the other end of his eyeglasses. So then go ahead and square up his frames, however you want that to be. Giving him some square frames as best as I can make. So there's his square glasses. They're not going to be 100% because they're just worm glasses. Gonna kind of straighten that out, give him the little corner so that these are my worm's glasses, just like that. Okay, he has little glasses. So that is going to kind of go up under here. It's going to end up fastening over his eyeballs. So we need to make sure that his eyeballs will line up with his glasses. I did it on the one that I had and I was like, oh, his eyes are too close together. So we need to kind of make sure they're about here. They kind of just hook around his first loop. So I'm going to make sure. And I'm going to poof his Deco mesh out. Gonna make sure I get that one on. Let it kind of adhere to our Deco mesh piece. I'm trying not to stick my fingers behind there to kind of test if it's dry. Our other piece is going to go right here. Go ahead and place this right over here. I'm just going to kind of hold that in place so our worm has adorable eyes. I got a glue thread that went all the way across. Okay, so there is his eyes for our worm. His glasses will now fit right over his eyeballs. They're actually just going to go hook right in on the other side. Let me do it this way so I can actually see. So I can make sure it goes under. Trying to position his eyeglasses so they stay so that they're in alignment with his eyeballs. Oh, I know what I did. I went under his legs. I want to go on top of his legs. Okay. There his glasses. Let me tilt him forward so you can kind of see my little worm face. And then the red pipe cleaner that I had here somewhere is going to be his mouth. And that's going to be however you want his mouth to look. You could, right here, put a little bow if you want a little female bookworm. This guy's going to be a little man bookworm. Try to get his legs. So you can make him have whatever you want. He can have a smile, and that can just be like so. I think I'm going to cut this right about here so I can play with sizing. We can kind of do something like that if we want. I think that's a little too big for my bookworm's face. It is. So let's take this one down. I'm going to give him a shorter smile. Not quite as deep. Like that. And that will be his smile on his face. So I'm just going to go alongside here, and we're going to attach his smile. Just underneath. Just like so. And now we have our little bookworm. Ooh, his glasses are crooked. There we go. Wow, that was way crooked. Instead of me fixing it, I just made it worse. Sorry, I was going the wrong direction. Okay. I think I fixed it. I'm trying to lift him up off the bottom. There is our bookworm. Just like that. So let's put him on the door so we can see him. Okay, I'm going to flip this up. Hello all. It's going to look good from the white door. We're going to take this one down. We're going to put up our bookworm, who has a multitude of different ways we can hang him. Because we have him on that Candy Career wreath frame. We can hang him straight. We can hang him off the side. And just give him, you know, all the final looks you want. Trying to get his eyeglasses to stay. That would help Cat if you actually moved the right piece. There he goes. Gravity is not doing me any favors. Okay, let's make the adjustment here. There we go. Trying to get it under his eyes. It just keeps wanting to bounce up. There we go. Okay. He's got his feet out to the side. You can elongate his feet if you really want to see those. Just like these. You can kind of pull them out to the sides a bit. Trying to find all his feet. I missed one. Thanks. Completely missed one. Feet, feet, feet. One, two, this one went under. And we can do the same thing here. Pull his feet out. So that we can see them. Pull his feet out here. Okay, cat. His foot just wants to interfere with his eyeglass placement and to really move. Trying to get his eyeglasses to lay. Every time I touch that ribbon, see I keep hitting his little eyeglasses. Just like that. So there is our bookworm wreath. Again, you can just play with all your placement of all your ribbons, so you have all of your primary colors present all the way through. There we go. Kind of like little stairs on the ends. Trying to get that one. It's got a weird twist in it. Here, 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 and here. And then our final down here. Okay, there's the bookworm. So you can do him in whatever color you want, whatever ribbons you want. You can do smaller deco mesh, you can do fatter deco mesh, but like I said, it's a real simple design. It's a really cute wreath to give a teacher, librarian, daycare worker, your favorite bookworm. You know, for teachers, you can use it as a classroom decoration and add it with the book area, you know, and wherever you like track your students reading, that could be a decoration that you put in there. You can add your own little fun whimsical signs to it. But what questions do you guys have on this particular design? Thanks, Cheryl. Cheryl says he's adorable. Elizabeth says love the design. Pam says I love him. Sharon says so cute. Elizabeth says so cute. He's looking adorable. Awesome. So this will go to replay. You'll be able to catch this on YouTube. And then don't forget, on Thursdays, we go at 11 Pacific, which is 1 Central, 2 p.m. Eastern. We're doing another wreath involving, I'm trying to think. It's more of a nautical theme since we're like wrapping up summer here. And I know we're just like starting summer. But as a wreath maker, your whole goal is to be 3 months ahead. So while this would also work as a thank you gift for a teacher, it's also a great back to school decoration that you can add to your favorite teacher. But that's all I have for you guys. So I hope you enjoy this tutorial and I'll talk to you all real soon. Thanks again. Bye for now.